What's up? It's your boy Johnny Shrevive, BB Pro, Mr. Tell Like It Is, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Coaching Up. Today, guys, we're going to dive right into your boy Athlean X's video. The smartest way to get a six-pack bracket, my best tips. Let's just see what he has to say and dive it into it. But, you know, I'm just going to say it right away, guys. The only way for you to see your abs is to be in a caloric deficit long enough that the amount of fat, subcutaneous fat, is low enough, that thin layer, so you can actually see your abs. Where is that? Where are you looking at that in terms of, like, you know, body fat percentages? Around 15% or lower, you'll start to see your abs. But again, abs are created in the kitchen being in a calorie deficit, or you can do cardio to get yourself in a calorie deficit. Either way, you got to be in a calorie deficit to see your abs. And then when you get there, that's you kind of like reset your goals again, and you can stay in that zone and be in that body fat and continue to keep those abs for the rest of your life, like myself. So let's just go on and see what your boy Athlean X has to say.
The best way to get a six-pack is to make sure you're eating right and also that you're training your abs.
My man's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's game over, done. But it's not just about eating right. Again, when he says eating right, I want you guys to get in your head. You have to be in a caloric deficit. When people say eating right, you know what that means? I mean, like, oh, I should be eating, I can eat whatever I want, but I got to eat less carbs and less fat, and then I'm going to be, you know, I'll see abs. No, you have to be in a caloric deficit. That means your fats, proteins, and carbs need to be low enough in a deficit for you to see your abs. Continue this.
Getting a six-pack, there's two very big things you need to do. And unfortunately, there's no way around it. You do have to eat right, and you do have to train your abs. Let's talk about the eating.
Again, guys, you got to be caloric deficit.
Right, real quick. Because if you don't do it, the rest of the video doesn't really matter. Guys, you need to have a good nutrition plan in place if you want to see the best results, because whether you see your abs or you don't is really a body fat accumulation issue. And the best way to get rid of body fat is to be in a caloric deficit.
Yes, 100%. That is it. Game over. There's nothing else to talk about, guys. But again, when it comes to abs, should you be training them? In order to get abs, core, no, you don't. In order to increase your overall athletic performance, you need to be more focused on engaging your core throughout your lifts. And then there are some movements you can do to actually, you know, help your core overall. But let's just keep going and watch this video.
If you want to develop a six-pack, is admit that there's probably an aesthetic goal here, right? If you're looking for six-pack abs, it's not just about their pure function, but really what they look like. And you're looking for that complete picture, well, you got to do one big ththing for me. Stop ignoring ab training.
Guys, listen, you can literally ignore ab training. I'm telling these guys right now, here's the issue we have here, guys. And just hear me out. Being a kinesiologist or being a physiotherapist or whatever, or going to school for being a massage therapist or whatever, doesn't mean you know how to apply or train. You might know all the things you need to know about the body and exercise and everything else. When it comes to applying and sticking to the basics and understanding that we don't have to go into all these other extra things in order to achieve a goal, and in this case, having nice abs. And he just said, if this is just purely aesthetics and a look, if this is purely just for a look, you don't have to train your abs. Guys, right now, I want everyone who's watching this video right now to take the hands like this, like strong like that, right? And I want you to take your hands and I want you to put them on your stomach right around here. And I want you kind of like try, you know, push out a little bit. You can curl, I don't care. However you have to activate your core, just do it. And I want you to move around, like kind of do this, like kind of feel around. If you feel some like hardness, bumpy stuff underneath whatever layer of muscle, whatever layer of skin you have, fat or whatever, if you feel it, those are your abs. If you can't see it, it's because you have too much overall body fat. Everybody on this planet has abs. We were all literally born with abs. I mean, we were born with an ab wall, you know, training versus dominance and whatnot. And then as we got older, our abs started to be more pronounced because they had to keep ourselves from flopping around. That's what our abs are for. Our core, our TVA, it's there to keep us stabilized, right? We've always been using our abs.
You see, thinking that training through your other lifts is enough because of the ancillary work that the abs get is plenty of work for them is a big mistake. When you think about the role that the abs play during these exercises, they really are playing just that bracing stabilization role that I mentioned. Preventing lateral movement of the spine, preventing rotation of the spine, again, controlling and preventing movement, but we never...
I don't know about you guys, but every time I watch, this guy's got a shirt off. Every rep he's doing, if you go back and watch it, his core is engaged. Now think about this. If he's doing whatever, if he's just training muscle hypertrophy, whatever, 10 to 15 reps, right? If he's training and say he's doing these pull-ups, he's doing say like 10 reps, right? He's doing 10 reps while he's engaging his core. So he basically just did 10 isometric holds for his core, right? You're working your core throughout your lifts, so you really don't have to isolate and sit there and train your abs and do all this stuff and curls and you don't.
If you want to get your abs to look the best they can, you're going to have to do some dedicated ab training. That means doing direct ab workouts. Now, here's the good thing. We're only talking about 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes long in terms of these ab workouts.
Now, you can do a 6, 7, 5-minute ab workout, I guess. But guess what? If you did that after you worked out or before you worked out, your abs have just finished working out from stabilizing, or they're just about to start working out stabilizing. So you're not just doing a quick ab workout. You're almost doing like a pre-exhaust ab workout while you train abs in an isometric way the entire time you train. So there is no way around training lightly or really quickly with abs, because even when I'm talking right now, my abs are on.
The next thing I want you to consider is when you do your ab workouts. Right? Because it matters. It matters a lot, actually. Because if you're just doing your ab workouts at the end of any workout you're doing right now, you're introducing a few big issues that are going to cause you to not get the results you're looking for.
It doesn't matter at all when you do your ab workout. Now, it matters when you do your ab workout if you're just a lazy person and you got to get it in, you're just going to like basically skip it. I recommend for those who have a hard time with, with prioritizing abs or stretching, it's getting it done at the beginning of your workout. Start at the beginning of your workout. It's a good way to warm up, and then start your workout. Your core is already engaged. You're already kind of like, pre-exhausted in an area. And then once you actually move into your workout, there's no issue with you trying to engage your core. It's the same thing I do when it comes to like, posing. It's like doing back for bodybuilders in your workout or any movement, right? And then say like after they do a set of like pull downs, I get them to do, a pose or do a front relax. Their back is already activated. So when it comes to engaging their back or flexing or contracting their back in a pose, it's easy to do it because it's already went through a stimulus of lifting something. If self-control or prioritizing isn't an issue at all in your life or time, it doesn't matter when you do your abs at all.
Whenever you try to contract a muscle in a fatigue state, you're never going to get the type of contraction you're looking for. And as you're going to see here in a minute, the quality of contraction matters more for ab training.
Okay, so you gotta understand, like, the core recovers very, very, very quick, like very quick. So it's not like you're sitting there and doing like, he's talking about doing 5-minute abs and you getting fatigued and not be able to work out. That has nothing to do with the abs. That has everything to do with your overall muscle endurance. So don't think that if you did a 5-minute ab workout before you trained, it'll be detrimental to your workout. Like if you did cardio before you worked out. Not that at all. You understand your abs will recover that quick anyway. So it's not like you have to split it up and do it 2 a day. And how many of you guys do 2 days? How many of you guys are actually going to do this after you've done already worked out or going to go back to the gym or whatever else? You're not.
For me, it's about 10:30 p.m. at night. Again, it's not ideal, but I work out late at night after the kids go to bed, and then I give myself a break, up to almost an hour between the end of that workout and when I do my abs. Again, we're only talking about 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes.
Now, again, like he's like, it's a suggestion. It's not a right or wrong answer, whatever. If you want to do that, follow it, cool. But like I said, do what works best for you. That's going to make sure you do your core. Now, I'm watching a lot of these movements here, and for me, I got to get down into what I really want to get into. So we're going to watch a little bit more of this. I'm going to really get into what's really, really, really important about training abs.
Stop counting reps and make your reps count.
No. Okay, so I get it. 'Cause like, listen, I guarantee you probably heard that quote from Muhammad Ali. If you guys know who Muhammad Ali is, you're under a rock, but figure it out. Either way, the muscle, the abs, the core is the same like every other muscle. If you want a progressive overload, they got to have some kind of measurable to make sure that you are in fact progressing. So why not count? No more of this like guessing shit. If we don't guess how many calories we eat, if we don't guess how many reps we do, if we don't guess, then there's no guessing with this. If you want measurables, if you want to know if you're progressing, then we have to count. Either time it, but we have to have something where we know that we're progressing. How do you know if you're progressing? Well, this time I went, I think, longer than last time. Maybe. Well, I don't really know how many reps I did, but I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Count their damn reps, please.
It's the quality of every contraction that you do that matters the most.
Yes, it matters of the quality of the contraction, just like it matters on any other movement you do. Now, when it comes to core, the best way in order to, have the best contraction is to breathe out with all your contractions. So when you do perform some kind of a ab movement, you are blowing the air out and tightening. While you're blowing out, you're tightening. So you're like 1, 2, and blowing all of it out, right? We're not just yanking our neck back and forth or just kicking our feet up. We're using our breath to make the tighter contractions. It's like the same thing when bodybuilders do thigh and abdominal. Got hands over like this, and it's just and blowing all the air. We're not yanking our necks down. Our hands are up like this, and we're basically, show you again, guys. Gotta show you again. But we're basically like this. Hands over our heads like this, and then we're going like this. Engaging your core or doing that, breathing out is gonna cause spinal flexion, because that's one of the reasons, and that's one of the functions of your TVA, your abs, just for you guys, is to help you move down like this. So spinal flexion, right? Your erectors help with extension. So let's keep going.
So in order to make this work, guys, you want to focus on the quality of every single contraction that you put.
Yes, it's all about quality over quantity, but you want to make sure that you're counting and you know how much you're doing.
Trying to do an ab exercise or a rep of any ab exercise. It's about A to Z, and that means everything in between. B, C, D, E, F, G. Every single step of the way throughout the ab exercise matters.
So it's basically saying, like, make sure that you're contracting the entire rep.
Anchoring your feet under something and just pulling your body up. It means starting from just below your chest and pulling that rib cage down and in, and then thinking about the shoulders and rolling them off of the mat, creating that spinal flexion. So
coaching up, don't ever do this type of. So this is coming from a guy who's a physiotherapist who worked with the Mets. Sorry, but these are one of the movements that you don't do for abs ever. You don't want to sit here and pull on your neck and pull yourself up. There's no point in that. What you want to do is keep yourself keep yourself in a neutral position where you can engage your core, where your core has to stabilize. You really don't want yourself to be rocking like this and all the time at all. You actually want to have yourself in like a V-sit or recliner or something where your back is in a nice neutral position and then the rest of your body moves. That's the whole point when it comes to this, right? So when you're doing abs, these are the best ways to do it. These movements here is what you should be doing in terms of core, right? Engaging your core.
The focus and the intention on every repetition you do is going to deliver the greatest results.
Very true.
When it comes to ab training, guys, these muscles are built for performance over and over and over again. So what you want to make sure you're doing is not resting very long in between sets.
Oh, wait a minute. This is when I got to call red flag. At the beginning of the video, he said that training abs will basically, if you train them before a certain whatever, terrain workout, if you train them before working out, it can cause over fatiguing, and then it would, affect your training.
Whenever you try to contract a muscle in a fatigued state, you're never going to get the type of contraction you're looking for.
But now he's saying that you should rest little because it recovers quickly. See what I'm saying when I'm watching these videos and I have to watch it from the perspective or the point of view of a newbie or someone who's looking for answers on, everyone right now is like, I want to find out how to make abs or get abs, whatever. And we pick this thing up, and then all of a sudden he says at one point, don't train abs before you work out because it'll cause fatigue. And then he's saying, how should you rest in between sets of abs? And he's saying, not long at all. Which one is it? Right? Which one is it? So just to correct Jeff, core recovers pretty quick, and that's going to be based on your overall muscle endurance doing that. So if you don't do abs at all and you start training abs, you're not going to be able to recover quick enough in that, much like any other muscle in your body. It doesn't change because it's your abs. Why is everything changing because of your abs? When you train, progressive overload happens. So if it's the first time you did abs in a long time, holy shit, you're not going to be able to bang out rep after rep and then set after set. You're going to take a little longer rest. So you're going to have to count your reps, say doing 10 to 15 reps or whatever with a good contraction, and then resting that minute to minute and a half in between. If you're working muscle hypertrophy, so like, why does it not matter in this? So again, we got to be smart about what we're listening to, because when things start to contradict, then there's like, oh, it gets confusing. Then we get to misinformation. Talking about core, and this video has been way too long just talking about core. Let me give you guys the best understanding of how you should be training your core. Do you need to train core to see your abs? No, you don't. Do you need to train core in order to stabilize and to get everything else stronger in the performance aspect? Yes, you do. That will benefit your overall lifts overall, no matter what. If you haven't trained abs before and you're just going into the gym, I do recommend that you train abs, core, right? And then how should I train core? Well, some examples like stuff like leg lifts, V-sits, hanging knee raises. Those things are going to help when they're basically lifting your lower extremity, because that's going to help your overall performance when in terms of holding a bar, doing wall balls, jumping, whatever it is, it's going to help your overall athletic performance when you train abs in that manner. Now, simply doing ab crunches and curls isn't going to do much for you in terms of, athletic performance. But again, it's not going to really do anything for you in the first place, because your core is working when you're doing those movements anyway. So in your overall exercises, make sure you're engaging your core, which each and every lift, every rep, you're breathing into your core through each lift. And then if you're training abs or core, the same thing applies. That's all I want to say to you guys. The only way to see your abs, guys, is to be in a caloric deficit, number one. And then once you get down to that, desired body fat, then stay there, adjust your calories, and make it sustainable, and that's it. See, what I do for my routine every day is I wake up, I do my 30 minutes of cardio, I do 100 leg raises, hanging knee raises, leg lifts, or V-sits. That is to help my overall performance. And then my nutrition is in a place where I can sustain my overall body fat to be able to see my abs all the time. And that's what you have to do. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share it. I'm going to come out with that tell like it is. Transparent, vulnerable truth. And for coaching, johnnysheed.com. If you want to know about coaching, guys, book a 15 or 30-minute consult. At the end of the consult, I deduct a consult off any package that you pick. And guys, check out my ebook, The Ultimate Push-Pull Legs ebook is out and killing it, guys. Grab that right now. It'll help you for sure get to your goals. Anyway, guys, get those descriptions below, guys. HELT supplements, man. Grab that testosterone Turk Builder is absolutely dope. So grab it now, guys. Let's get checked, guys. Those links below, guys, help save your life or change your life for the better, guys. Anyway, guys, make sure you guys add me on Instagram or TikTok. Send me your progress pics, your training clips, and your video clips, and I will repost for you guys, because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.